thank you, Daniella, for coming into Radio Italia 1 Adelaide.
Thank you.
Okay, I should put that volume up. And excellent. So how we connected with Daniella, because you were, well, I discovered you as one of the people that was recognised in the 40under40 in Daly last year. So, which is important and is a nice way to recognise up-and-coming talent, really substantially present in your case. So let's explain what is this 40under40?
So 40under40 is it's a globally recognised program, but basically in South Australia it recognises the top 40 under the age of 40 talent in terms of entrepreneurship and people that are making change in the community. So yeah, that's ultimately what the 40under40 is all about, and it's been a bit of fun to be a part of it. So yeah. Yes,
and you, as I said, you've up and coming already established in your professional career. So tell us, you work at BDO,
yes,
which is a substantial and important consulting firm in. I might say something serious. So you explain.
No, you're fine. So I'm an accountant by call it trade. So BDO does accounting, audit, and advisory. But for myself, I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a partner in the business services team, which basically for myself I specialise in a lot of high growth and high net worth advisory, and that's really the nature of what I do. So where people and businesses are looking to scale up, ultimately what I do is I help them do that in a deliberate manner. So
yes, that's Joyce just come in. So that was a bit quick. So
that's all right.
No, growth areas. So you're helping businesses that want to grow.
Businesses that are growing already. So they ultimately, for me, I'm helping them with the growing pains. So where they look to scale in a deliberate manner, that's where I really come in and help them do that in a way that helps them think through governance, financial decisions. Usually it leads to some form of liquidity event, so a sale or maybe an acquisition or a merger, where ultimately they'll try and do something. A lot of the nature of the clients that I work with are serial entrepreneurs, so they like to do it and they like to do it again repeatedly. So I go through that journey with them and help them with those pains and pressure points.
You mentioned that word pain a few times now. So what sort of growing pains?
Growing pains is thinking through, and when I say pain, I'm not saying that in a negative light. It's a positive. Pain is an opportunity, but it's an opportunity to grow and think through things like margins and growth and cash and structuring and governance. The way you think through what a structure looks like in terms of a tax, asset protection, employee type structure. There's so many different layers to it, and that's where I really jump in and try and help us all those points.
And you say you work mostly with entrepreneurs.
Serial entrepreneurs.
Serial entrepreneurs. What's a serial entrepreneur?
Somebody that doesn't really get bored. So somebody that likes to grow something, has an idea, very innovative, or otherwise sees opportunity in other people's innovations and helps to try and grow that or do something with it. That's the nature of all the clients that I attract. And I like to get involved with that in terms of helping grow and scale that.
So people who do it more times.
Yes.
Start a business or grow a business or buy a business and then maybe sell it, maybe not, but then do it again.
Yeah, and for some it might be founders where they've identified an opportunity, scaled that, grown that, delivered that, sold that, and then decided to do it again. Or it might be others that are doing multiple at the same time or have seen opportunities and invested in other businesses and are doing that in tandem with other investments.
Yes, and so what are the issues that come up then for these types of people?
It's really...
Why do they need your help?
It's usually helping through... A lot of the help that I provide is actually I'm almost like a business psychologist. So people come to you with certain things and certain issues and points to make decisions, and you really help them through that. So it might be thinking through how you look at, how you structure a board or how you think about pricing and margins, and there really is no end to it. It's just all-rounded, jump in and help me where I need help. And I don't necessarily do all of that, firsthand. Some of it is spotting and networking and being able to identify where to help other people bridge that knowledge gap. But a lot of that is also helping them think through what it is they're actually trying to solve.
So they need to understand, or you need to help them understand what the problems are.
Problem solving, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's quite a lot more than just quote unquote accounting.
Yes, I think, and no disrespect to people that absolutely love tax and accounting, but personally, for myself, I enjoy challenge. So problem solving is where I get a bit of a kick out of life.
Yeah, okay. And are there any particular sectors, areas that you like or specialise in?
By nature and by default, I think a lot of entrepreneurs and serial entrepreneurs seem to attract a lot of technology, and there's a lot of different industries, but by nature it's usually some form of professional service or technology.
And is that a good sector in Adelaide, in South Australia? Flourishing?
I think tech's flourishing everywhere. I think South Australia's got a really good market in the sense that we have a lot of small to medium enterprises versus the eastern states, which are probably a little bit more dominated by some of your bigger corporates. We have a lot of people that come up with really good ideas and grow things here, which is really, I think it's a unique spot for SA, and I think for myself personally, I've found a bit of a niche here in being able to help advise those kind of businesses.
Okay, and you said you're a partner
Yes.
in the business. What does that mean?
Well,
You own it. What are the owners?
Well, a partner is basically somebody that you don't really get any higher than a partner.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what a partner is. So a partner is at the top.
Yeah. So, and that's why I said, so upcoming, but also already well established. So good. Congratulations on having reached the partner stage already.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So what happens next then?
Well, I continue
Just to grow the business.
Yeah. So in tandem with the business advice and advisory that I like to jump into, I think in tandem with what's next is world's the oyster and crystal ball ? We don't know, but I like to also get involved in a lot of advocacy and activism as well. So that for me is also what I do in tandem with the business advice side of things.
Advocacy and activism.
Yeah.
In what areas?
Human rights. So for myself, by experience, I've been fortunate to have seen life from a bit of a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
So through that, I have used that as a bit of an opportunity to help educate others as well. So that's for me is really, when you say what's next, that's a continuous evolution in terms of what's next.
Yes. Okay. So I might consider maybe a couple of topics could be gender issues.
Gender's definitely one, for sure.
Disability.
Yeah, so disability is definitely one as well. With myself, obviously, having born with shorter arms and legs, and I personally, and there's obviously everyone's got the different preferences. I don't necessarily refer to myself as being this anything. It's just it's a language thing, and it's a psychological thing that we all acknowledge, and we have our own little nuances. And for myself, I think I just don't like to put any diss in front of myself. But I look at that point of difference as an opportunity to educate, for sure.
Yeah, I've discovered in Italian they use the word diversamente, differently able.
Yeah, and differently able is but I think we're all abled, it's just, how you look at it, for sure. So
then it's, as you were saying, you've seen life from different experiences, different perspectives, and those perspectives can become assets.
Absolutely. Well, every perspective's an asset, it's just how you choose to capitalise.
So in fact, even from a business perspective, so without using that word disability sort of, but even in product design, people that can make products that are easily accessible in the niche market, say with disabilities, then tend to have success in the broader market because everyone likes to have things that are either shirts that are easier to put on or mobile phones that are easy to operate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately even just simplifying that again, it's really more so looking at just a niche product in general, regardless of ability and all of that. It's really, if you look at a successful business, it's because they've had a niche model or a niche product. And that's the underlying factor of success. And that's why I think, every opportunity in our life, and when I say our life, it's societally speaking, is an opportunity to capitalise on something unique.
Yeah. Now, you said it's, don't like to put the word "is" in front of things, but there are in society and in business, in the professions, there have been, and I guess there still are barriers. Because we don't have, I don't think, strong enough accommodations. I was just thinking, until recently in state parliament, we had a member of parliament, and I'm forgetting her name right now. She missed out in the last election. He was strong in terms of advocacy in the field. I've been on the board of one of the local disabilities areas, and you can see that it's there's a lot of work to be done there.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that has been done, and there's still a lot of work to be done. I also sit on the board of Purple Orange, which is a social profit organisation which aims at ultimately helping other people with disabilities or points of difference have a fair go at what life has to offer, and that stems into policy making and all of helping that side of things from a government perspective, but also some tangible aspects as well. In saying that, yeah, look, I think there's definitely a lot of opportunity, and there's still a lot of ways that we can help try and progress that element of society and how we look at things, but there's still a lot that's been done. And I look at, I'm 34 years old, so I look at the timeline of progress in community from inception to where I'm at right now, and it's been significant. So if we keep at that run rate, I think we'll hopefully make a lot of progress in the next couple of decades.
Yes, indeed. I have a short break now for some message from our sponsors, and we'll come back to speak to Daniella Biagi.
Cool.
You've got a very good voice for this.
Oh, thank you.
Good, very strong, penetrating. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. You've still got a while to get, you've still been in the under 40 category for a while.
A little while.
Well done. And now that name Biagi seems to be an Italian name. Then I looked up your LinkedIn profile, and you said you spoke Spanish and French. I was like, I wonder if it is Italian.
Beginners French and Spanish.
Yes. So tell us, is there an Italianness in you?
Yes. So I'm half Italian. My dad's side's Italian. The origins trace back to a little medieval village called Biagi, which is in Tuscany. It's just north of Florence. So it's beautiful. I went there when I was 24, 25. Very beautiful. It's akin to the Barossa Valley almost. It's very vineyardy, very Tuscan. Very beautiful place, and it's nice.
Yes, well, I remember when I came back to Adelaide from having been overseas and interstate, it's driving around the hills, which in the Barossa, you could be in central Italy, central northern Italy.
100%.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Okay, Bargo, you said.
Biagi.
So you went there. How did you communicate with the locals?
I'd love to say sign language, but I'll be lying on that one. But with my very little Italian, but I think having learned a bit of the Latin language, so having learned a bit of French and Spanish through university as well, helped me with some of the central. I just play on linguistics and endings, so I knew obviously Spanish and Italian is very close.
Yes.
I knew a lot of the nature of language through French. Like I learned how to kind of communicate from that Latin perspective from learning French at that real deeper level, and just played with endings and things that I'd learned in my family. Yeah.
Yes, and you said, so Italian and German.
Yeah, I'm Italian German, yeah.
So what's the German background?
My mum's side's German. I'm probably more across the Italian history than I'm the German, but they're one of the first people to come to the Barossa Valley and settle that. They're from a place it was called Prussia originally, and it's been changed
On the
now.
Bismarck, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a little place called Silesia, which is where my family's from.
Ah, that was an important industrial area.
You didn't sound like you know.
Or mining area.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 19th century. Okay.
Yeah, so that side of things were the Schutz side of my family, and I know that some of the origins they founded Emmanuel College.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know that lineage is there, but I would be absolutely not being 100% honest if I said that I knew, because I don't. It's a bit blurry for me. My mum is so across it. She's given me all the German history books and all of that. I haven't done a deep dive.
That's right. You've got plenty of time for that.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So, now I was mentioning earlier before we come on there, anything about whether you had any Italian songs or singers that were of interest to you, but you answered straight away. So you have some connection there. And what's the artist or song that you mentioned?
So Paolo Nutini is
yes.
he's from the same village that my family's from in Barga, and he's pretty notable. I used to love one of his tracks. It was Jenny Don't Be Hasty growing up, but he's actually from the same village as our family.
Okay, Paolo Nutini, Jenny Don't Be Hasty.
Yes.
What's special about this song?
Well, I just liked it, and I didn't know at that point in time that he was actually from the same village as we were, and then having gone to Barga and understanding the village a little bit more and realising that he was one of the notable points that came out of the village, I thought that was really cool because I already loved him. So
okay.
Yeah, and that was my favourite. Well, that was one of my favourite songs. So yeah.
And you might even find a family connection, yeah?
Probably. In a small village, it's likely. Yeah.
Okay, and was this the case with your father came out to Australia, your grandparents?
We're a few gens in, so his parents came out to Australia, and then yeah.
Yeah, not a large contingency of Tuscans in SA, but yeah, substantial. Good to know. Okay, Barga. So we have to go now. We'll put on Jenny Don't Be Hasty by Paolo Nutini, 2006 song.
Yes.
Thank you again,
Thank you.
Daniella, for having come into the studio to give us your background, your professional and other background, and having introduced me to this singer that I didn't know from Barga.
Cool, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.